I've known her as long as I've known Judy, because she showed up on a blind date that I had with Judy at a Wayne Newton concert. Judy was working for a accounting management firm that represented Wayne Newton. And there was an electrical problem. And his belt wouldn't light up. And there was a pause, and we started to talk. And Shelley was, as everyone is saying, such a great conversationalist. And unfortunately, the power came back on, and we couldn't talk any longer. And Judy and I ended up, long story short, being married and have these lovely kids. And I really do remember Shelley coming over when she was not ill, when she was ill, coming down to visit and spending time and sitting around the breakfast table and just talking. And I'm a guy, I don't usually like to sit around the table and talk. But I did really enjoy talking with Shelley because she was so interesting in the way that everyone has sort of described. But one of the things I remember the most about what she shared with me was that when she was in high school, she took wood shop. And I was thinking back about what that time was like, and I never saw a girl, a woman, a female in wood shop. So that kind of says a lot about who Shelley was.
I first met Michelle, I'm a member of July, so when she got sick, I went to see her because I was in charge of volunteers to help her out with meals or rides or whatever. And so we sent some meals, and she was always so appreciative of every gesture. And as I know you know that too, because you've known her longer. And you know, when I called her, she said, oh, you know, she, just like you all said, you know, interested in you. How are you? You know, hello, how are you? And thank you so very much for talking. And we talk, you know, I try to help her a little bit. And I always was so struck by her courage and strength, even though she was so sick. She was always looking forward, and she was always planning to get to the next step so she can get out and do things, you know. And it's amazing because, you know, she never gave up. She always was doing the diet and doing this and trying to help herself, and she loved her family and she loved her friends. And I heard a bit about people, you know, in her lives because I didn't really know you then, but I'm very happy to have met her. And to, you know, to see somebody who can really be gracious under pressure, and you learn from people how they go about life and enjoy life. As you all said, she really grabbed life by the horns and did so much. And I heard about her travels. She was so excited. She told me even when she was really sick. I was there one day, and I think with you there, Donna, you talked about your trip to India, and you know, and she was just so, she just loved people. She loved people. People, places, color, art, very artistic, and you know, I think we all can learn from that. We can all take that in our hearts and remember. I'm so glad that you met her.
I met Michelle through Donna. The only time I ever saw Michelle was through Donna. We spent a lot of time with girls' nights out, with a bunch of us, and several times there were 5 or 6 of us that went up to Tahoe together and had a blast. And she always, I remember sitting at breakfast, and she always had us in stitches. And she also, as you said, you know, into art and color, and she really loved quilting, and she bought this book this really huge quilting book, and about 2 years ago, she knew that I was into quilting. She called Donna and she said, I have to give this book to Lori. And so I went over and she gave me this amazing quilting book, and I look at it all the time and I think of her.
My story is very similar to Lori's because I met Michelle through Donna, and I remember the first time meeting her was at the reservoir, and our conversation was about dogs. She had her beautiful collie with her, and I think we talked the whole time about our animals. Then when I would meet her again at Donna's house or out and about in the evenings, the girls' nights out, we would always talk about myriad of conversations, but one of the things that she really helped me with was education, and her wise words and kind words were very soothing to me when I had such difficulties sometimes in my job. I just remember Michelle as a beautiful person who lived her life with such dignity and kindness and loving towards everyone. And I will never ever forget our wonderful times out and about with our girls' nights out, and all the times at your house, Tom.